Okay, let's see if the AI can source. I'm doing this as a live stream test and all that. So as many of the people know, ChatGPT came out with a new agentic browser called Atlas, and it has some browser control features. Just a quick side note, it does require you to log in. You're not using this browser without actually logging in. But one thing that you also need to know is that this browser under the hood is just a Google Chromium. Anyways, let's see if it can source. So when you open up the browser, it starts with like this ChatGPT window mode. You have your little sidebar there in the browser itself. And you can also, choose what type of model do you want to use, like usual ChatGPT interface. And it has an agent mode, which we'll get into in a hot second. But yeah, let's see if GPT-5 on auto mode can source. I usually use this somewhat vague prompt that maybe a hiring manager or maybe somebody new to recruiting and sourcing would use, which usually goes something like this, that let's dictate. I'm looking to hire an expert UI UX person. And the best date might not to work. Let us fix that. The demo gods are not with us. I would like to hire a UX UI design expert to come and work and be the first head of UI and just in general UI person at a company that is the competitor in stealth mode of Neuralink. We're looking for somebody who has experience, like a lot, but we don't need somebody with like 50 years, maybe somebody who's been around, has like 5 to 10 years of experience. And this experience comes from a mixture of startup environments and also like big tech environments. And in both cases, we want them to have experience working in greenfield initiatives, basically lifting up a new project from the ground. What else? Maybe it would be nice if at least on an interest level, they do show maybe some sideline projects or maybe even experience or interest in some shape or form and computer brain interfaces, human computer interfaces. This person needs to be based in the United States, but it can be anywhere on the West Coast. Mind the typos? No, we're not connecting any apps. Okay, so it is buggy. Do we have that chat? No. Okay, first try. Atlas cannot source. Let's try again. Can you help me hire somebody? Let's start with like creating a sourcing strategy. Okay, at least now we're live. Yeah. Let's try that again. Okay, so I would like to hire somebody who has a UI UX background, decent enough, like at least 5 to 10 years experience coming from both big tech and also a startup environment. This person also needs to have exposure and experience in the domain of healthcare tech and also hardware design. This person will become the first UI UX person at the company, and will act as both the head of UI UX, and also will need to get their hands dirty to put down the foundations. And after that, they will need to lead the UI organization. In addition to all of this, this person needs to be based in the United States, either on the West Coast or on the East Coast. Those are the two main time zones that we operate in. Lastly, we would want this person to show some sort of interest at least, but preferably experience or exposure, or the best would be passion around human-computer interfaces, neuroscience, brain science, anything like that. So yeah, vague enough, long enough. Comes up with a decent enough strategy. Some sort of Boolean string that is long. Okay. Find me some actual profiles as examples. But is this true? Let's check it out. And Atlas being a agentic browser, you have this like site tab in here all the time. Okay, product designer, reality labs, graphic designer. Maybe not the best profile. Who else? Not the picture, the URL. Product designer. Okay, good start, but let's try and see if we can make it better. Let's have profiles who are either slightly heavier on the UI UX, or they have a balanced experience in both product and UI UX, and not just the balance, but they have the depth and the breadth in both domains. Not breadth as breadth, but whatever. Variable hat, product design. But do they have any brain stuff? No brain stuff. Getting closer, getting closer. Let's make sure that that soft requirement regarding human-computer interfaces and brain science, let's add that as a stronger requirement. Remember, this company is a competitor of Neuralink. Yeah, sure. Yeah. Bit long. Doubt that it will work. Give me a list of 10 profiles that suit the requirement list. Also, put all of these into a canvas, like create a candidate tracker canvas that we can co-use. So I can also give feedback on that and maybe even distribute it to some hiring managers. Now I wonder if these are real. Validate. You validate the existence and the correctness of these profiles, and also add a column to the table, preferably somewhere at the beginning with the LinkedIn profile URL to these people. What are you talking about? I ask you to add a column to the canvas and make sure that every profile that you list over there, it is a real existing one and all data that you collected is correct. Your outputs will be verified and validated later on. Lazy, lazy, lazy. Maybe because do it already. Okay, so robots are blocked. Let's see if they actually are blocked or we can get around it. Okay. Add back the reasoning you had in the previous canvas about why are they good candidates and why do you think they should be included. Also, make sure you re-rank the table of candidates based on your opinion on who is the strongest match and should be contacted first versus last. Looking for best fits. We see that it jumps to thinking mode when it needs to. Okay. You know what? Let's do it. Or actually, first, let's see if you're lying. Chatty. Let's see, Madeline. Neuroscience, brain-computer interface, UX design. Experiences, maybe not at the depth that we wanted it. Who else? Let me just clarify the search. When I say 5 to 10 years experience, I don't mean in general, but specifically domain experience. And I would want to see people who go deep and spend time on projects and topics and, don't change necessarily roles and companies every third month. We are looking for somebody who is a builder and is willing to stay around and build stuff. While it is thinking on it, let's see the next profile. AR, VR, UX design, interaction designers, some human-computer interfaces, any brain stuff. Not at first. Are they even in the correct location? Yeah, they are. Nice. Do you think that Madeline is the best fit for this? It's all hallucination. Let me just check Madeline. No, neuroscience. They are in the United States. Okay, revisit this list a little bit. And I don't want people who just say that they are in the US. Actually, we changed our mind and we cannot hire anymore on the East Coast. We need only West Coast people. And we need that like deep experience in UI, UX product and human computer interfaces with a deep interest in the brain. Okay, we have a somewhat new list. Was Patrick on the previous one? Yeah, the fourth. Okay. I mean, not bad. I mean, not. If I would, be a hiring manager with this vague requirement and not even a decent like job description, and I'm just exploring health tech, product design. Yeah, maybe some of them don't have that UI UX. Let's see if we can revisit that. Okay, let's restart this for a second and create a new list. Don't just rearrange this. Make sure that everybody on the list is a strong match for my requirements and there are no questionable elements on their profile. Whatever questionable elements are. Yikes. Java is not existing. They are not existing either. I'm still logged in though. Good old hallucinations. Oh, yikes. The majority of these profiles just do not exist. I checked the URLs and they lead to 404 pages. Validate everything that you say. I need factual outputs from you and real profiles with real URLs that I can visit and validate your work. Till that's happening, let's just see the other profiles. Some of them are real, some of them are not, but we can clearly see that it's not a good profile. Okay, let's try this maybe in a different way. Changed its mind, it's not updating the canvas anymore. Now let's see these. Cole, yeah, we saw Cole. And by the way, this whole marketing, digital marketing specialist, like, come on, ChatGPT, that's not, or is this company? XR, yeah, that's why. Interesting. Interesting, okay. Band, are the locations correct? Alameda. Okay, let's try something different. Let's work on that sourcing strategy a bit. I'll give you access to my browser and you'll need to run X-ray searches on Google to target profiles on LinkedIn. Who are the experts online who write a lot about sourcing and recruiting and finding niche candidates? Go look for content around that and create your internal knowledge base on sourcing for profiles on Google using site search. Okay, let's just make sure that it can source. Yeah, of course. Identify the top 10 candidate sourcing influencers and knowledge sharers and thought leaders and experts online who share for a long time now true and validated expert searching tricks. All true. Go out and gather with web search the inputs from these 10 experts and content from these 10 experts that will help you create a magical sourcing strategy and sourcing strings. The transcribing is not that good, but what did it do? Okay. Let's do some agent mode stuff. And as you can see, you can choose like, are you, it's sort of, do you want your agent to work in your regular browser window where you're like logged in and everything, or logged out? It's sort of like opening up an incognito window just for the agent. And you can do all this in the cloud as well, in a cloud browser, which is quite neat. Okay, take over my browser and run these searches on Google and open up suitable LinkedIn profiles. From the Google search, extract the information from them and create a list of 10 distinct candidates. You are not allowed to navigate on LinkedIn. Your only option is to write searches on Google, open up a LinkedIn page, and go back to Google as needed. Of course, it's dangerous out there, so don't do as I do. But what's happening over here? Planning the task, but where's the browser? And this is the thing that there's sort of like, oh, now it came in. Okay, now it opened up the agentic window. It's clicking, searching. You can look through what it's clicking on. There we go. I wonder how much will it remember from the stuff it's looking at. And it's interesting because it's it's defining the coordinates on the web page that you're looking at. It's not like a scraper where you need to go and click a tag, basically. I mean, don't give it access to the open internet, but in a controlled environment, it can work. I'm not saying that somebody cannot put some nasty prompt injection prompt on their LinkedIn profile and do bad things, maybe get it to navigate on a different site, share data from your like Google Drive or anything like that. Prompt injections are a thing. Let's see if it can scroll. It's definitely slow, so it's not a fast click around experience, but at the same time it is precise. Like compared to Perplexity Comet, it is finding what it needs to click on, and it's not going like sideways. But let's see if it if it can scroll to find the 10 matches. No, it thinks that. Okay. So that sort of validates that it's using visual coordinates on the side. And maybe you gotta tell it that, like, hey, don't forget to scroll down on pages, okay? And also proper validate the profiles. Don't just look at their name, headline, and location. Make sure that you check their experience and you scroll down and collect any valuable information, and also validate their years of experience and career trajectory that they had so far. Okay, so adding in an extra prompt sort of stops this magic happening over here on the side. Oh, and it took over again. Now let's see if that scrolling works. But, here's the thing: can you trust an agentic system? It scrolls. Now it scrolls. Can you trust an agentic system if you need to tell it that, hey, scroll, okay? Okay, it thinks. It rules out candidates. Now, is this legal though? Right? Like, if this would be an actual role, an actual job at an actual company, your AI deciding who to include and who to not include can be problematic, even if it's correct, right? But how do you validate in case of an audit, right? Like, it's a black box. You will not be able to go to OpenAI and ask them, like, hey, why did ChatGPT decide to rule out Lauren because Lauren is suing us? Especially if you think about, like, standardization, where maybe you want your AI and your human to have the same, like, leveling guidelines. This will be tough, especially that it's not fast, but it's running. The bad thing is that if I put this on the side and I do something else, sometimes it just stops, right? Like, if this is not the window up front, then it just stops. Actually, let's just see if let's go to the Open Talent Society website. Oh, and by the way, if you want to learn all these things, we're doing a free event. Register and we'll show you how to make all this thing a little bit better. Still stuck at Tom. Let's leave that for a second and see what happens. If I go back, I wonder, will it be still at Tom? Oh, and like, you open up pages in this, like, weird way. You can use the top URL bar, but you just tell it. You either paste in the URL into the search bar, or say, like, open LinkedIn. Not linked. Let's retry. Let's try that again. Oh, you cannot edit. Brilliant. Yeah, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. The whole user interface is finicky. Now let's see if it went over Tom. No, it's still at Tom. So that is the problem. That is the problem, that it's slow and you need to watch it. You need to watch it work. But then what's the whole point? What's the whole point of having an agentic system that is not autonomous or not trustworthy enough, trustable enough that it can go and autonomously do stuff. Okay, let's get it to like do one last try. Now here's the thing, this like doesn't work on the background, it's true. So in Atlas, you need to be on the active page. But right now on my second screen, I do have another window active and I'm working in there. I'm not watching Atlas. And I'm not sure if it like, it doesn't stop, it still works. So you can sort of run an Atlas one in the background and, you know, do your work if in a different browser if you don't want to watch it. Buggy, very, very, very buggy. Let's try again. And it's slow, but it does the job at the basic level, right? Like, what is sourcing? Take requirements, translate those into searches, run the search and validate the profile. Here's Tom Nelson, UX design, Amazon, consumer robotics, senior UX designer. Yeah. Like using agentic browsing, it's extremely risky. You're opening up yourself to like prompt injection and all that. But yeah, considering that this is the worst that it can be, and this will just get better. Like if you know the Will Smith eating spaghetti meme, like this will get better as video became better, as image generation became better. This is the worst that we can see. Anyways, that was ChatGPT Atlas answering the question, can the robot source? The answer is kinda. Anyways, if you or anybody wants to, you know, learn more about this, we will be running an amazing event where we will build actually custom chatbots that will remember all the sourcing goodness, how to do it and where to do it. And what you need to do is just go under this website or go up on opentalentsociety.org and hit the banner on top, or go on this Luma page and yeah, sign up for the first episode of the AI Builder series, where we will create custom chatbots for recruiting. This will be actually a series where first we create a custom GPT, a custom chatbot for you for recruiting, and after that, in each episode, every second week, we will always improve on it or create a better variation of it. And yeah, we're excited to have this, as this will be the first event in our new colors as Open Talent Society. Hopefully see you there. Stay curious.